I'll call this meeting to order. It is Tuesday, August 21st, 7 Main Street in the Senior Center, 7 p.m. We're going to start our first meeting of the Cultural Council of Hubbardson for 2026 program year. On the agenda, first things first, we're going to review the roles and see if there's any changes, any needs or wants or anything like that. I will take the chair again this year, and unless anybody objects and wants to step forward in that position, I'll be more than happy to pass the reins on.
No, thank you.
Okay?
You do a great job.
Thank you. Co-chair, you can leave that blank, but it's not required. Treasurer Connie, you're all set with your position for another year?
Yep.
All right, cool. Laura, you all set with secretary for another year?
I am.
Okay. Would you be able to take care of the publicity and Facebook stuff again?
Yes.
Cool. Well, I would ask is we have some help this year with keeping track of and coordinating the grants after they're approved. So like 2025, we could watch and, if there are any messages that come in, that sort of thing, and make sure there's stuff's on the calendar, things like that. Just tracking the applications that we award. Any takers for that? Okay, then I will try to do a better job this year. How about that? We want to do another survey again this year for Field Day like we did last year. We were required to do a community outreach to get a feel for what people want. Are we okay with doing that again? Or I can put last year's date on there because it's still within a year.
Well, I am okay with it, but I am not going to be here.
Okay.
So I think it's a good idea to have it. The 13th.
13th?
Saturday the 13th.
September 13th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to be here either.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I know we need to do something every year.
So we don't need to be in person. We can have it electronic. I just thought last year having Field Day and us an opportunity to hand out flyers and have them fill it out there. Otherwise, we can just go completely electronic and blast it out.
Yeah.
We did do a couple years ago. We did spend $5 or $10 on Facebook campaigns. So you put some money in, and they'll actually reach out directly without doing the random algorithm. Actually target everybody within a certain radius. And you can adjust the radius within your center point. If you're curious, we can do that as well as a way of staying completely electronic. But we'll need some way of blasting it out. We can also do the town through their email system.
I think that would be a strong
Yes.
That'd be-
option.
Okay.
So, and I think we could probably use the same survey as last year. I don't think there has to be
Okay.
a lot of changes to it.
Do we have a volunteer to coordinate that? No more Survey Monkey this year. I learned my lesson with that. Sorry, Joe.
What happened?
Yeah, thanks.
It went from a free to a first 40 submissions, and then you had to divvy up like $40-50 per month or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even think it was 40. I think it was like 20. The
It was-
first 20
yeah,
submissions.
I got the
And
admission.
You couldn't.
2 days
access
later,
any
I got
of the other
the
records
email in
after
saying,
that.
"Sorry, we shut you off." I'm like, "Uh-oh."
So Jonathan moved to Google Survey, and then he had to manually enter the
Yeah.
first 20.
I was able to get the first 20. So there were other ones we lost because it went to like 40, but I couldn't get the first 20. So I went in and I keyed in the first 20 I could grab off of it. So I think Google Forms is our best bet. I know that I think the library uses that, correct?
Yeah.
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 So do we have any takers on that project? Just taking the existing survey and copying it over and set it up.
I can take care
Okay.
of that.
All right.
That is which one of these?
Probably special projects coordinator.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask what that was because I was gonna jump on that. If
Yeah.
That was...
It needs to close by the time we vote. It cannot be open
Okay.
officially. And I will. Last year I pro-dated the form to future date, so they allow me to do that. I'll do that again this year as well, so we can get the latest and greatest bleeding edge input from the community. Cool.
You and I can discuss start and end dates and stuff.
Yep. I mean, what you can do also is when you get it all set up, you can just blast out to the group and say, "Yay, good to go," and then you just open it up.
Okay.
You'll also want to work with the town. Nate will get you the information, probably through Melody, to get set up for the email blast as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But whatever we do, just make sure you blast out to us and we all give a thumbs up before you.
Oh yeah, no, I'll definitely have the
Okay.
council's.
We don't have to
approval
be
before
here
then.
in person to vote on it. We just need to make sure that everybody is approves the communication.
on board with how it looks. Yeah.
Exactly. Cool.
Right on.
Excellent. Item number 2, grantee updates. Conducted and remaining. I did take your town PDFs And then consolidated back into the Excel sheet. I don't know if you have something more up to date.
I do.
Okay.
I do. Small print right now, but so apologies for that. But
That's fine.
um,
This includes
And this
this
is-
last, the.
so this is the current year, and I can share with the treasurer's report. I can share the previous year.
Okay.
So, and then this is also one just for meeting minutes if you would just want a print copy or whatever.
So two and three kind of bleed together then.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Okay.
So, so currently this fiscal year, starting 2025, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 programs so far out of the 11 that we've allocated. So we had the Hubbardston Council on Aging. If you look at item number 3, Hubbardston Council on Aging, they had their event over the course of the spring 2025 where they had separate workshops, and then they had the art show. So we've submitted that. That's been paid. They had requested $700. They submitted invoices for $633. So
Yes,
that's just one thing we may just want to suggest to our recipients, that if they've requested a certain amount, they could maybe do an invoice for time spent for the remaining amount if they want to get all the money
Yeah,
allocated to them.
we can change the message on the
So,
awards when they go out.
Because I can
to
only
include that.
submit for invoices, for receipts that I have or so forth. So that one, so we're gonna have some money left over this year to apply to next year for this. Henry the Juggler performed at the fair. And so that, he submitted it, but then we never received it. So I just submitted it earlier today. So that was for $450. So it's submitted, but has not yet been encumbered. The owl pellet dissection was also submitted. And then we also have the Uniquely Quabbin, and then the Wishington Winds, which is we support them when they have a person who performs in their group. So we carried over Junie Ballooney from last year. So she got sick, but she was going to perform at Field Day. She got sick. We carried the $250 over. So I'm hoping she's going to perform this year. Dennis Cormier, Songs of Yesteryear. We don't have a projected date of when he performs. I feel like it's usually in November or December, and it's usually at the senior center.
Last year he did December, I think.
I think so, yeah. Hubbardston Historical Society has portrayal of a historical figure. We also don't have a date for that yet, but typically that's been in the fall. Last year they did something related to Halloween scary story kind of thing, so I don't know if they're planning something more for October or November, so we might want to try and get a date for that. The Hubbardston Lions Club has the mass martial arts performance, which I suspect
Capoeira.
which I expect is going to be occurring at Field Day, is my guess. Hubbardston Parks celebration has occurred. I've not yet received any paperwork from them to submit their reimbursements. That was the event last week on August 14th. The only thing I went to that event, I think Laura, I saw you there, and Zoe, I saw you there. The only thing I would just maybe suggest for future is make sure that people know that they should be recognizing the Cultural Council for monies donated to them.
There is a set of guidelines on the state website and what they're
Yes.
supposed to do. Post a sign.
I missed the first half hour, so they may have done that in advance. But
Okay.
when I was there, I didn't see any signage. I didn't see any recognition that this was funded in part by the Cultural Council. So it's just an education thing for people in the future that they just need
So
to.
last year, the pottery guy had a sign up on his desk, and then the science experience, the Lions Club had put signs up next to each of the tables with the Cultural Council logo on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
The owl palette dissection thing happened in March, so apparently it was great. And that was one where they submitted an invoice that was less than the 180. So
I
we
remember
asked
that,
them
yeah.
to submit an invoice for time spent so we can get them up to the 180. Halloween Children's Parade will happen in October. To Life celebration and story, song and music. I have no idea when that's going to happen. I've not heard anything about that.
Never have I.
Athol, we got 2 issues of the Uniquely Quabbin magazine that came out, so that's been submitted, and Wishington's has been submitted. So that's kind of where we're at this year on.
Do you have the magazines?
They're in mine, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We don't have space yet for them. The filing cabinet disappeared, and there's a pile of binders right now in the basement of the library.
Yeah.
The Millie has set aside, but
Okay.
I couldn't locate the 2025 one yet.
Okay. So, yeah, and I have some invoices or
Okay.
some stuff that I can put into that, but
Okay.
I'm kind of holding them at my house. So you know, I think we're on track to spend the money, and I think the only things we're not sure on dates are portrayal of historical figure, the capoeira, however you guys want to correct me, and the To Life celebration and story song and music. I think the other ones we have a good feel for when they're going to occur.
Yeah.
So
Reoccurring from previous years, yeah.
Oh, refresh my memory, please. How much time do they have to spend it before the money is not theirs anymore?
January 20th. I gotta go back and look at the calendar, a specific date, but it's mid-January, basically when the program year rolls over. When we make the awards, that's pretty much when it cuts off for the previous year.
yeah. So that's kind of. So I think we're on track. You know. It's
January
fine.
16th.
So,
Next year will be the rollover.
So Connie, if we have an item on here where we paid less than their original, that's money we carry over into
I
the
carry
next.
that over to next year.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I noticed Hubbardston. I guess no, that is two different things. It's Hubbardston Council on Aging and the Historical Society.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of groups in town that, yeah.
Yeah. So to give you a better picture of that, this is the 2024 ledger.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure where all that went. So, and here's one for the meeting minutes
Yep.
if you need it. So this kind of breaks down the what we spend in 2024 by month. I'm just going to kind of jump to the end. You'll notice at the end that it looks like we have $352.64 left over
Yep.
from what we had allocated the previous year. 250 of that, if you look down under like my notes, 250 of that is Junie Ballooney, which we rolled over into this year. We said she could do it this year and we'll take the funds. The Kelly, so, did the fun science workshop. She's one who had $75 awarded to her, but only submitted $35-ish in
Supplies.
supplies.
Yeah.
So there's about $40 there. And then we had $150 in administrative expenses, and we only expended 90 some because we had about $60, $70 for the banner
Yep.
that we had made, and then like another $17 that you used on a Facebook blast. So, so there is technically $352 left over, but really it's $102 we're going to carry over because Junior Ballooney is going to happen this fiscal year. Does that make sense? So we did expend all of our money over the course of the year. So, starting in September, we will. So I guess my recommendation is that we do have $62 left over in administrative expenses. I would like to freeze that right now just to make it easier to do the rollover for next year, as opposed to trying to project how much money we're going to spend between now and December on administrative expenses. I'd rather just put it into the money for next year.
Okay.
I think I don't know what people are going to spend on administrative expenses, and I think it's going to be hard to
That's always
say-
been a moving target, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd rather just freeze that. We're going to roll it over to next year, and
So-
it'll go into next year's funds.
So we have a financial report in October we have to submit.
Yes,
We'll
exactly.
probably have one more meeting before then to approve that dollar amount, whatever it would be.
Yep.
And then everybody will get to see the financial report before it gets submitted, so.
Does that feel all right with people, with folks?
Yeah, but this is 2024, right? So we would still have money in the budget for 2025 for
So
administrative.
that is where I'm trying to figure out, like with 2025, I don't have a note on how much we allocated for 2025, if we
Okay.
allocated anything.
I think we did.
I thought we did
It was
too.
150 and she spent
Was
some
that
on the banner.
2024 or is that 2025?
2025. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you know, like the whole budget thing, like, because
Calendar
stuff
versus,
starts,
yeah.
Yeah.
Some
For
stuff
any-
starts in the calendar year, some stuff's on a July 1st fiscal year. So I feel like right now, that $62 is what we have spent. I can go back and look into it a little bit further.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to look into.
But it was just the banner.
But the
that we sent, right?
2025, I think
Oh.
this actually might be 2020.
We're finishing 2025 at the end of
Are
the
we?
year. Yeah.
Well,
So
when
it's
did
always
we-
the so we're
The banner was in 2024.
we're going to be voting for 2026 this fall.
Right.
It's always the next year.
So
So like
So-
Zoe said, the banner was 2024.
It was. I thought it was 2025.
but it was last year. So it depends on how you define fiscal year. I define fiscal year July 1st to June 30th,
Right.
as opposed to January 1st to December 31st. So,
Well, then it's probably part of this fiscal year that's coming, or that has just come to a close because we had the banner at Field Day.
right, exactly.
And it was made specifically for that, so it would have been after June.
Yes. So I feel like it's in the
2024.
Okay.
fiscal year.
Right. Because we didn't finish the process for 2025 yet. Okay. So your recommendation is to freeze the $69. And then before we meet for the October financial,
Right.
we'll then
And when you're doing, so this is also where it gets a little bit weird, is when you're doing the budget for the next year, you're looking at your current year, but also the past year to project for 2026. So you're kind of doing like a multiple kind of thing there.
So put your thinking caps on for anything you want to spend for next year for deliverables, right? If you want to get another banner, if you want to do a canopy with Hubbardston Cultural Council on it, whatever, you know, if you want to do anything like that, any expenditures on the admin side, right? We want to plan a year ahead for it, right?
Can we cater these meetings?
No, food is not allowed.
All right, just asking. Just
It's
asking.
very explicit in the rules,
Man,
right? I
All
thought of
right,
that.
bring your own. I got it.
Right.
So
Okay.
That's what I've got.
All right.
Mr. Chair.
The program for 2026 is out. You can get it off the website there. I've not printed a copy tonight. I'm sorry. There are some minor changes to it, but it's very similar to last year. Last year there were some changes in some of the way that we were able to spend the money. But good reading. Sit down when you got some time. Go through it. It's fairly simple. You know, any questions, reach out to me, and I will. If I can't answer, I will reach out to boss and get an answer for you.
Sounds good.
All right. The meat of this meeting actually is the next item: the local guidelines and policies. Thank you, Laura, for your submission. I'm going to pass this around. This is the original. This is Laura's proposals. We can make recommendations or notions to change it, or we can vote on her changes. Or your changes, correct. Sorry, correct. But I didn't see anything wrong with the changes made.
okay.
There were, I'll say that for the next time. There's another item we have to talk about. It's actually not on here.
So I think last year we talked about the local venue and maybe like defining,
Yep, that's the first item on this.
yeah,
Yes.
is
this
local
submission,
Hubbardston, can we say like,
Yep. Applicants who have secured a local venue and can accommodate the proposed event, because we also had issues where people said, "Oh yeah, we
Right.
could do it here," but it was going to be half the space they needed, or
I'd also
whatever the case.
recommend leaving it open-ended, so not eliminate those that don't have a venue, but, you know, we'll take higher priority over those who have a venue already plotted out.
projects that serve all ages.
Right.
Yeah.
and is local Hubbardston only, or is it Hubbardston and adjoining towns?
I would say priority is made towards Hubbardston venues first. I would leave it open-ended because we may find that in next year, in this fall, when the applications come in, we may have more outside the town, like the Fitchburg Art Museum, right? They may they may
That's
be in that top tier that falls within our budget,
Submission.
right?
I
I don't
think
want
all of that
to,
sounds really
you know, close the end of it and we'd have to rule them out, right?
Right.
Okay. this is part of the requirements I'll be submitting for the 28th of this month. There's a little section on the website I'll need to approve. No,
I have it on my phone.
Okay.
As her suggestion.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'll just want to read it one more time before we vote on it.
Do we want to point out at this stage that they should be publicizing the fact that they got an HCC grant? Or is that something that we encourage people to do and hope they do it?
It's already in the state requires them to do that on their own. If they ask for our help, then we can help them, but it's not required on our end.
Do you suppose it's buried in that big PDF?
It might be. We can go back and look at it. We'll have to do that tonight because the deadline's the 28th to submit that.
Are you thinking we should be more proactive and?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can have it on our website, not as the policies, but as a suggestion
Friendly
or a
encouragement.
request.
Yeah.
I mean, could we even have a handout or a flyer that they can just grab?
A PDF that
A
they
PDF
can
they
print.
can
Yes.
just grab.
The sign.
You know.
My only comment to this is what we put on the state website has to match what we post on our own. It can't differ because if there's more constraint on our end, then we're going to be violating potentially, because we didn't come forward on the state side all the policies, right? So the state has to be a superset of what we have, if that makes sense.
Yep.
That'd be my only comment with that.
So I'm looking at the page now, it would seem to fit in with the overview, which is before the prioritizing the following.
Okay.
And is it, I mean, I don't know if it's possible or not, but when you send out the awards, can you do attachments and be like,
Yes.
please,
Absolutely.
please,
Yep.
you know, here's a sample template
Yep.
of how you should advertise the event.
So actually, when I sent out the emails, there is a link to the state's page for those deliverables. So if they click through the deep links, they'll actually see everything that the state requests and requires, including the advertising part, having the sign, the logo published on their venue at the
Yeah.
time of the event, and then saying something during the event, pointing attention to cultural council, right?
But I'm just wondering, like in the email itself, like a big
Yep.
bullet point, like here and here's a link, or here's a.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it needs
PDF.
to be brought forward to their
Yeah.
attention. If it's hidden in the deep links, as you say,
But-
I feel like there's a chance that they're not going to.
Especially for first time
Deep dive.
recipients who don't, who are
Right.
still learning the process,
Exactly,
who don't know,
exactly.
you know.
So I'm gonna request that we do is, I will send out a template email before the awards go out in January, and I'll request that we all approve that email, because it is quite lengthy right now. To your point, we wanna make that forward more, not bury, I think it's down towards the bottom, towards the recommended context for, if you need a venue, contact these people, right? It's towards the bottom there, I believe. But I'll recommend that we review that one more time before they send them out.
Sounds good.
Google must be broken. There we go. Did you want to update on the Word doc, the changes? You wanted to put that blurb towards the top, correct?
No,
Or-
if it's a problem with you could put it on the policies, but it's not a policy, it's a suggestion. It's a please do this, so it isn't a policy.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any notions to change Laura's recommendations?
The only idea was applicants who have secured a local venue that can accommodate the proposed program,
Yeah.
the crowd size type of thing.
So do you want me to change event into program?
Proposed programming, yeah.
Applicants who have secured a local venue.
That can and then add on that can accommodate.
The intended
Anticipate-
audience size or
Yes,
something like
Yeah.
exactly.
Actually, that did come up. That one application we had, was it last year? They wanted 200 folks, potentially,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they would have had to go to the high school or somewhere else
Right.
around outside of Hubbardston, right?
Yeah. Where did they end up doing that event?
We never awarded it to them.
Oh, that's right.
I think that was the reason. Is we didn't have a venue. They didn't have a venue lined up.
That could handle that. Yeah.
We did not deny them. We pushed it back on the priority list, and it fell downward.
So
Yep.
rewritten, it's applicants who have secured a local venue that can accommodate the anticipated size of the audience.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I mean, folks like you remember Greg Maycheck, right? I mean, sometimes you get 5 people. Sometimes he's got a full house in the library. It's very hard to nail down sometimes, right?
But if they're proposing a 200-person event and they're saying they're going to do it at the library,
Right.
Right.
Cool.
That's
Yeah,
not
sure,
bad.
okay.
I have a shrink
We'll see how that works.
right? Like, you know, it's
Oh,
like,
shrinky dinks. Cool.
it's understanding, you know.
Okay.
Right. You want to prompt them to kind of
Right.
look into the local venue
And,
sizes.
and I don't know, like when we send out, like when the announcement goes out, do we provide a list of potential venues?
Yes.
Like I know we do it like after we award them, but do we do it actually when they're proposing?
No.
It might be helpful to have something in the, like, when we do the announcement of saying, here are potential venues in Hubbardston, that here's the size that can accommodate, you know, Field Day can accommodate this.
So that would have to be in the local policies. We don't have control of the application form itself.
Okay.
We would have to, I'll have to talk to Chenny to see if we can put that in the local policies or.
I mean, I mean, just, if someone's trying to find it, you know, has an idea, but I'm not saying.
That's true.
Okay. We're not ready to greenlight this yet because there are a number of highlights that didn't come out on the
That was
sheet.
next. I was going to ask about the highlights at the
There we
bottom.
go.
Yeah.
All
That was
right.
my next.
And I
Yeah.
can't see the highlights on my phone either.
Oh, well, let's take a look. So the first one is how well the program meets our local priorities. And my comment was, we need to define our local priorities if we're going to measure proposals against them.
So that first item feeds back into the top part with the 3 bullet items. That's the way I read that.
Okay, so we can, our priorities as listed above?
Yes. This is all going to be on a single page, so yes.
All right. And then the next one,
It's kind of redundant, actually, having that there. You think about it, but yeah, okay.
community support and involvement. And my note on that was, how will we know if the community supports the project before it takes place? And does community involvement mean helping to make it happen, attending the event, or both?
Good question. It depends on the venue. So, for instance, the Lions Club, we know their mission is community involvement, community helping the community, right? So we know, right? If we had somebody, the one that applied for the self-help talk, right? And they want the 200-person venue, right? That would be a community, right? When you get more in towards the art stuff, that gets a little gray in terms of community, unless it's very explicit, right?
I wonder too, when I think about community support, is that the information we glean from the survey that we do? Like, is that community, like when you say community support,
Yeah.
do you mean like community interest? Or are we talking about like the community supporting the program?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Is, are we saying the community supporting the program, or the program supports the community?
And that was my point. If you know the venue, you can kind of infer what that is, right? If it's Lions Club, if it's something specific towards self-help, right?
Well, we denied a grant to someone's project that was entirely driven on community involvement because it was involving the community to the extent that it couldn't happen if we didn't work on it. That was the yarn wrap thing.
Yes. But that was not in Hubbardston either, correct? That
Well,
was
it would have been in Hubbardston.
It would have been in Hubbardston.
But it would also have entailed getting a lot of our fair citizens together to actually do the work, and then to probably remove it after it got all tatty.
Oh, can I just go back to this too? I'm looking. So HCC prioritizes the following 1, 2, 3 bullets.
Yep.
In addition to the criteria found in the electoral cultural, applications will be evaluated against the following. So are the 3 bullet points above also in addition to the bullet points below? Like, are these all HCC prioritizations? I'm just now that I'm looking at, I'm just kind of
Yeah, it's
getting
like what's the
confused.
distinction between what's above and what's below?
Yeah.
There appears to be no difference.
Because apparently there's a set of, there's some criteria for
Yeah.
So
LCC
what if we moved that
versus-
sentence in addition to the criteria and replaced HCC prioritizes the following?
I think you can do that. I think that works. So if you get rid of that, in addition to the criteria, application will be evaluated against the following, and then you would have just a whole list of bullet points and it's consolidated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fine.
All right, so that way we can strike the, did you already do that?
Yeah, so our deadline's the 28th, and it cannot supersede or violate the state's requirements, which are in the guidelines as well. So we can review that if you want as well. But those guidelines have not changed since I started.
So as far as community support and involvement, does that need to be a separate bullet? Can we like roll it into the one above, projects that celebrate what makes Hubbardston interesting, such as its history, agriculture, community, and rural character? And just
And strike it.
Yeah,
I
I
would
guess
just-
those two do kind of go hand in hand.
add community to this list of things that we're looking at.
I think we
mean,
should
like-
leave it, but it needs to be more explicit, the community support and involvement. For instance, the talk, the gentleman who won 200 seats, it's not art, but it's still benefiting the community, right?
So
So
that
it
comes back
doesn't
to
it
the
doesn't make
definition
Hubbardston
problem.
it doesn't make Hubbardston
he's
Hubbardston, but
supporting the community, but
Right.
would the community support what he's doing?
Right, right.
so it doesn't make Hubbardston, but it benefits the community, right? I guess is my point.
It could benefit the community if people in the community were interested in it, you know?
And that's where the survey comes in.
Can you say
Kinda.
projects that support community development or community?
Projects that celebrate what makes Hubbardston interesting, such as history, agriculture, community, and rural character. Because remember, to take a page out of your book from last year, the more granular we get with these
Correct.
guidelines, the more difficult we're going to make it for ourselves.
Another venue
Potentially,
another
so-
application we've had in the past was a veteran support group. They've actually applied a couple years back. That's not necessarily art. It doesn't make Hubbardston, but we voted on it. We said yes, and we awarded them money for it. That would fall under, I think, that bullet item that we're talking about right now of community support and involvement. It's not necessarily make Hubbardston, but it's still support, correct?
Okay.
Was that the flag, the wooden?
No, it was before you. There was
Okay.
a couple.
Because we just did that recently too. Was the
yeah.
that flag workshop, the wooden flag?
So could it be
workshop or whatever?
projects that support the Hubbardston community?
I would just say that, yeah, or Hubbardston community and surrounding area, something like that. I don't want to Joe's point. I don't want to make it too tight because then we're gonna we're gonna box ourselves in for something we may think is important and relevant during the voting process, right?
So that bullet becomes projects that support the Hubbardston community.
And surrounding area.
And surrounding areas.
Yeah.
I would leave surrounding area in there because it might be Templeton, and we still feel it's relevant.
Do we want to say adjacent towns? Because
I would say surrounding area, leave it open.
Yep. Yeah, because we've done what? Winchendon, Templeton.
Correct. Winchendon Winds, actually.
Yep.
They performed out of town, but we were supporting them, right?
Right, because one of their musicians was from
Exactly.
Hubbardston, right?
All right, the last note I made, oops, I spelled area wrong. The last note I made was ability to address the diverse cultural needs of a community's underserved populations or support diverse forms of cultural activities. My question was, what are the underserved populations in our community?
So that's complex statement, and I read that as you do the survey, you do your community outreach to see what people want, and then you look at what you've done before, and if what they want is not done what they've done before, then hey, that's an underserved population. But it requires community outreach in order to answer that question.
Because I was, when
I
I
mean,
saw
we
that.
do a lot of stuff for the kids and a lot of stuff for seniors.
Yep.
So the underserved population is
Us.
like our age group. So,
So 2 years ago, when Miss Young started to use the bandstand stuff, right? She started bringing the bands and everything, right? There were no concerts that we had funded for, right? That was a underserved population, and we saw through the surveys, hey, people want concerts, so we brought them in, right? That would be that, but you wouldn't know unless you knew that the community wanted something, right?
Right, so someone just seeing this for the first time might not
Sorry.
You might think
understand who the
underserved.
underserved communities are. They might think, oh, these are people who are of a certain culture, or they might be a certain ability, or they might be super old, super young. There are all kinds of different underserved.
Right. Or somebody wants something we've never done before. That would be an underserved, right?
Not necessarily. It might be a weird concert
It
for
could
the
be.
kids.
I mean, could you say ability to address the diverse cultural needs of communities? Or can we get rid of somehow like the underserved populations and support diverse forms of cultural activities within the community?
That falls right in line with the state's mission. That's awesome. I like that.
yeah,
So-
just basically remove underserved populations. So ability to
And the
address the
commu-
diverse cultural needs of a community or support.
I think there's an underlying thought behind those two words originally when it was written. Unfortunately, the folks that wrote this are no longer in the council. I would have to reach out to them to figure out what that meant.
I mean, it feels like when I hear underserved, I usually think like minoritized people, minoritized groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think about the economics.
Mhm.
Right, homelessness
Mhm,
and
right,
yeah.
yeah.
I hear what you're saying. No, I think that's much more concise and
Okay.
You lost
Are
one
you
of the
looking at it?
bullets, but, we see here, projects that serve all ages, and then there should be a bullet. You need to enter.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Does Apple use Control Z?
All right, so we just amended
Command Z,
that
Sorry.
third to last bullet, ability to address the diverse cultural needs of a community or support diverse forms of cultural activities.
Yep.
Okay.
Or
Now we're saying
No.
diverse twice.
yeah, diverse cultural needs of a community. Gosh,
Why don't we just strike the first diverse?
I would take diverse out in the first part of the sentence. Just say they address the cultural needs of a community or for
Of the
diverse
community.
forms. Yes.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that does sound better.
But not a community. It should be the community.
or our community.
Our community, sure, yeah.
Oh, I like that. Our.
Our community does sound a lot more homey.
Hubbardstonite.
Okay, so all of those red words that I changed that are not stricken, are those going to go into the document?
Oh, it's right there. The whole thing is super short now.
So, can someone explain to me financial need? I'm sorry, I feel like I'm being dumb right now. What's the financial need of the?
If someone cannot run a program and they need financial assistance,
Financial need to execute the program?
That seems excessively nosy,
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what it means.
because
like,
there are lots of types of people of all different economic strata that are eligible for a grant, and without them saying, I'm broke, I need this money, we would have no idea.
Right, and the term financial need is kind of a bit ambiguous because,
unless they put that in the application, it's none of our business to ask either.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
right,
Yeah.
Well, last year when we were getting applications, we were kind of prioritizing the ones that were going to offer a free program to the community over people who were also asking to like sell tickets.
so is that what financial need means, like for the program, like,
Should we,
for
like,
the
define it
audience, or is it for
better?
to execute the? Yeah.
I would keep that as a separate item, I think. But I agree with you that, programs that are offered free to the public would be prioritized over.
yeah.
Those
So
that
we
are
need
paid.
to either.
So maybe that could just be a program, like programs that are really.
I would be okay with deleting financial need
Yeah.
because if they're submitting a grant application,
There's
they have a
financial need,
financial
right?
and we're
they're
not really
asking
going to
for-
know
But
how
you
much
might
other funding they
prioritize
have.
programs that
True.
are
It's none of our
offered,
business anyways.
Right.
offered free to the or offered
We can say that, yeah. We
Free.
want to do that, so
yeah
maybe
free
we
to the
should put it
community
in our.
that are.
Because our goal is to follow the core on the state policies, right? The need for culture in arts, not necessarily, right?
So I would say, so I would delete financial need and say something along the lines of like programs that are
Open to the
offered-
public?
They're open
Or
to the
open-
public or
Free
no
and open
charge
to
to
the
the
public?
public or freely accessible to the public.
Freely accessible. There you go.
Not free and open, but free and accessible.
Freely, excuse me.
freely accessible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So are we digging into ADA territory now? Talk about
Ooh.
access? Because that means no programs at the library.
That's right.
Unless they
Yeah,
can
and we do
fire
have to
up
be
that,
careful how we word that,
access.
right?
Strike it.
I would
I
say
see.
free and open to the public. So,
Programs that are free and open to the public in the place of financial need.
yep.
Yeah,
All right.
sounds great.
And then demonstrated planning.
I get that because some
Yeah.
people's budgets were a little
Yeah.
vague.
Yeah, some
So,
really
yeah.
vague.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that gives
So-
people a.
I would recommend the last one be left on there.
Oh, I'm not saying it should be
Yeah.
deleted. I'm just saying, does it need a demonstrated planning to execute the program or something like that?
I
Or is
just,
demonstrated planning enough? Like,
I just say demonstrating planning is enough, yeah.
So should I read the whole list now, or are you looking at it?
We're looking at it
Yeah, we're
live.
looking
Are you good here?
Yeah.
Are you
Okay.
good? Yeah.
I can make it bigger if you want.
I was just gonna try to make it not go
Ooh,
away.
here we go. Like a big print book, right?
Projects that
Nice.
serve all
Yeah.
ages.
You laugh now, brother, just you wait.
I'm already on that road. Thank you. I have to wear this to hold and don't look at that now.
evidence of dedication of the applicant to the, that's a lot of prepositions there.
Which one?
Evidence of a dedication of the applicant to the program.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just a lot of,
To the application of the program?
Yeah, applicant's dedication.
To
to the program.
Yeah,
Yes,
there we
thank
go.
you.
Boom. All right.
Can the second bullet item and the second to last bullet item be combined? Projects that serve all ages and are free and open to the public? Or do we need to keep those two items
It's like
separate?
keeping them separate.
That's separate.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Can you put in quotes what makes Hubbardson interesting on the third bullet item?
Why?
It's a what makes Hubbardson.
No, if you
Oh.
start doing that, then that's
Okay.
open to interpretation.
Thank you. All right.
How about the second? So there's two evidence of bullets in a row.
Mm.
The second one could just be ability to advertise.
Right
There you go.
I was just gonna say that.
Ability to advertise.
Do you want demonstrated ability or just ability?
Ability. demonstrate, then you get into historical, and we don't necessarily have history on all the
Oh,
applicants.
but now we have 2 ability 2s in a row.
And they
no.
remove and they remove the run books from previous years. So when this whole thing rolls over, you're going to see 2025 disappear off the website. We keep our own copies, but yeah, I think that's for a
Okay,
reason.
we have 3 projects too. So
We'll be here till 9 if you're
I
not
know.
careful.
So I would get rid of the second ability to address and change it to addresses.
There you go.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Second D. Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Jonathan, for
Addresses
noticing it.
or supports. That needs an S at the end of support. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. I like the second to last one. I like that because it's not a
just
requirement, but
add
it's a
spaces to
priority.
that line.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just move my mouse.
It might be
It's
one
just
too
move
many.
mouse.
No, that's the correct number, and if the cursor moves away from that, you'll be able to see that it's okay.
Okay, yep, I got it. Sorry.
That's all right.
We pressed the space bar to bring the screen back because it
and
was
then
starting
we're just hitting
to go to
spaces.
screensaver. Yeah. Trust me, I know how that feels right now.
So we all set?
I think so.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yeah.
So make a notion to submit this to the state on the 28th. Do I have a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Bye.
All right. Whew, that was a whole one.
Hot issues of the day. Let me get that out of here.
Yeah, so the second hardest tack tonight is to discuss, because this did come up this year, first time I've seen it. An applicant had requested money before the venue was done, before they submitted their reimbursement. And state had recommended that if there is a need for that, we want to switch. We can't have a duality. It has to be either reimbursement or pay up front. It was just one person that had this question, that had this need. They were able to find a way around it. So maybe there's no mountain to, or issue to work here. I'm just bringing this up because it was mentioned.
Personal opinion, payment up front sounds like a terrible idea. Because then we have to chase those applicants that have already been paid. Whereas we reimburse in a timely
Correct.
manner. If we pay up front, then we have to stay on top of them to make sure the event takes place.
Right.
And that's more work for us.
So it puts the burden, the reimbursement puts the burden on them then to foot the bill basically.
exactly.
Yes.
Post-event, or pre-event, right?
Yep. And that adds to their dedication to that, to their event, right? Which is in our guidelines. So.
And I feel like the group that asked for the reimbursement up front could have gotten the reimbursement, or could have had it paid. I don't think it had to come out of people's personal
Correct.
pockets. I think there was avenues in which they could have had it
And
paid.
that was my conversation with the individuals. There are other avenues. I talked to Boston, I got the information, but you want to pursue these other avenues first before we go down that road. Ultimately, it came down to, from the Boston side, ultimately came down to meeting with our accountant financial person to see how the reimbursement can be done. So would the town allow, through submission of receipts, get paid multiple reimbursement forms for that single event, right? So if they paid for a vendor to come on site, right, and they give us the receipt, with the reimbursement form, can we process that, and then they can submit for the other part of the money, right? And I never got an answer from the town on that.
Oh.
Why would that be a problem?
Huh?
Why would that be a problem to break up the...
It's not necessarily a problem. I just have to confirm, because they're the ones that are going to cut the checks and process the money, right? Not us.
I would also say the treasurer has to manage all that.
Correct. Exactly.
Just saying.
Treasurer may say no. I'm not going to do that.
Let's
Right?
make the
then,
treasurer's job easy. Come on.
Exactly. So there would a possibility where we could process multiple reimbursements per venue as the receipts came in, but we have to get clearance from the town to do that, according to Boston.
I mean, I think it could be done, and it could
Yeah.
be done like on a ad hoc basis. Usually it's a one-off, right? Like usually people do the event and then they submit their thing.
Right.
So, but when you're planning something on a larger scale where you have multiple things being offered
Right.
at an event, that's where it would come into play.
Yeah, the applicant wanted a vendor, but the vendor required money up front, and that's where the money was needed. So, okay.
I would prefer not to go give the money up front route.
All right.
Right.
I make a notion that we do not change from reimbursement to pay forward.
Second.
Second, all in favor? All right, that's easy. Okay. We already talked about the Foreman Field Day. I might be available. I have to look at my calendar still for being there that day. You said you'd be out, and you'd be out as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baby's birthday party in Baltimore.
You'd just be sitting there in a chair, basically, and eating the fantastic barbecue chicken that they offer, so.
Yeah.
Good
In-house
chicken.
race, right? Or the fried dough, too, right?
I'm not a big fried dough person.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
sad I'm gonna miss it. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I think this is the first field day I will miss, since I started going. It's been 20 years ago.
Right where your kids there every year.
Yep.
Okay, so I will send an email for that when we get closer. Any interest in that? If I'm available, I'll just set up a table. Otherwise, you'll take care of the truck part of that, right, with the form and possibly blast it through the town, correct?
Yeah.
And you work with Laura if we want to go the Facebook route?
Yeah.
Okay.
And last year, or rather, was it last year or 2 years ago? My red tent was being used, and I'm happy to let you use it again. And the banner is at my house, so if you want to use the tent, you can get a 2-for-1 deal. You get a tent and a banner.
Okay, the tent's coming back to you when we're done.
Well, that's implied. I'm glad you read between the lines.
And the banner too, sorry. Cool, all right. The last item on my report is I set up a Google account to publish on the state's website. I want to kick myself from having my name's out there, but my email address and everything else really should not be.
So this is just a generic Google account.
It's a generic
which we
Gmail
use to-
account. There are other folks in town that do the same thing, including Hubbardston Celebration. In fact, she's been using that since the 250th, actually.
Hub trustees.
Trustees too? Cool, all right.
Is that something you had to get like approval to do, or did they?
No, I talked around. I talked to Nate, the admin. I talked to
Yeah.
the other folks that had the Gmail accounts. The only gotcha with it is if there's an information request, I can just throw them the account. Here you go.
What do you need?
Well, I will give them the
Like a
information they
FOIA
want, but the
request.
account is technically public domain, right? That's the only.
Right. Whereas
problem.
if he used his private email
I would have to
account,
furnish the information, and they would have to trust that I'm giving them the information they were asking for. Whereas
Right.
if I have this generic account that we pull our stuff into, here you go. Right? There's no risk of having that legal battle, right?
So does that mean you're going to port all of the current HCC folders into that Google account?
That's the plan. It's not done yet. It is taking up probably about a quarter of my storage right now, so. So, yeah.
No, it's about a third.
But that being said, password and keys right here. If I would at least want one other person to have this information. I do have it also published on the Google Drive as well. But if you want it now, yep. But if I get run over by a Mack truck and I don't make it, then I'll need somebody else to know that exists.
All right.
the
Keep it going.
Set it up on
the
my-
survey.
Yep,
It's a Google survey, right?
yep. They can be done on that.
I was gonna say, what account was it under?
That one.
Okay.
Yeah, I prefer it on that one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. And last year's is on that account. Last year's survey.
It's on my account.
Okay.
I've shared. It's actually under the share for the cultural council.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I pour all the documents over to the account, it'll move over with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll need to obviously access that.
It'll also make processing the award announcements easier as well. If I can't get to something on time or something like that, or if someone wants to help out. It'll also, when I publish the award emails, it'll be under that account, not mine. All right. Anything else?
I don't need that, so.
Yeah, probably need it too.
Okay, you gotta help me out here.
Yeah, I don't know what the codes are.
What's the username?
It's the email address at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yep. HubbardstonCC@gmail.com, and that's what I'll be publishing. The keys are for if the password gets lost, stolen, changed without our knowing, we can force our way back into the account.
And we
Okay.
are not uttering the password because we are being filmed, is that right?
Correct.
HubbardstonCC@gmail.com.
Hubbardston CC, yes. Give me 1 second here. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
There you go. And when are you projecting to move everything over? Just so if I'm submitting invoices, I know where to start submitting.
You will not see a difference. It'll still be a share
Okay.
to you.
Okay.
The only difference is I will see my drive usage go from here down to here.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so you also want one of us to take like a picture of the codes?
Yep.
Just in case?
Yep.
Okay.
I will take responsibility for the email side of it, but
I'll take a picture.
Okay,
of that, I think, too.
yeah.
so what'll happen? What happens quite often is I'll have questions come in, especially after the awards or during the application process. You know, do I need this? Do I need that? Right? Hey, where do I? You know,
Yep.
that actually when a grantee is awarded and they start to schedule their venue, right? They haven't scheduled already. That'll be a question. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? Right? I've had things, or I'm sick this week. I can't do it on this date. Right? That sort of stuff comes through. Okay, cool. All right, the last part, actually 2 parts. Second last part, calendar dates. The other part of having this account is I can put all the calendar dates up on there. They're already on the state's website. It is public domain, so we don't have to worry about information requests on that, okay? August 28th, you guys know about already. September 2nd, application opens. Laura, would you be able to throw out a Facebook blast on that?
Sure.
Okay.
So that is, it's 2 weeks, not next week.
Would you be able to 2 days before, let's say on the 14th, send a second notice, a final?
So,
October 14th, a final notice
For the deadline.
for the deadline. The reality is most people submit the night before. I've gotten phone calls, you know, at like 10 o'clock at night, help me.
The person you have reached has a mailbox.
I answer. And
Click.
usually what it ends up being is they're using Safari or some weird browser that doesn't support something or another, and the
Oh,
phone
yeah.
doesn't display properly. And
Excuse me.
do I have a budget for Facebook ad spending? I think that was $14 last year, a princely sum.
we can do that again, yeah.
Okay.
you could send that out sooner rather than later, just so I can put that into the budget, so when I do the financial request.
So I'm looking at 3 hits, 828, 92, and 1014.
At $7 a piece.
I don't know if it's $7 a piece. You pay as much as you want, and then when you get up to that,
Depends on the area they choose to.
yeah, it's not going to be like the entire state.
Right.
The
Okay, gotcha.
surrounding
right,
areas.
it's going to be the, yeah.
Yeah, so the fewer people you target, the less it costs, and you just put in the dollar amount that you are willing to spend, and they advertise up till that point and then stop.
Okay, for the October 14th one, if you can give me exact amount, because I have to submit something on October 9th for financials. So I can say we're gonna spend this
Oh.
much money on it, but I
Getting
need to know
under
the
the
exact
radar,
amount,
yeah.
so.
Sneaking under the radar.
So get costs to Connie.
Yeah. And there's $60 left.
$60 left from the
Administrative
2024-2025 grant cycle. Okay.
Sweet. So then we just have the December 31st deadline and the
Yep.
grant decision report in January.
What's not on here is November 1st, when voting starts.
Okay. November.
It's basically the November into December.
Voting starts.
So the whole survey you said had to be done before the application opens? Or
Before voting starts, so
before
before
voting starts?
Right.
That's
November
so
1st, yeah.
November 1st,
So-
okay.
Several months.
Yeah, the
Okay.
form has to be closed by
Great.
November 1st. So we can leave it open.
All right,
I think
so I
one-
can open it well, I gotta obviously update it, send it around to you guys, get approval, and then
Yeah, yeah.
get that. But the sooner the better, I'm
Yep.
assuming. Okay.
And plan on sending it out more than once and set up the survey so that people can only take the survey once, because no one's going to act, or very few people will act on that first touch of the email or a Facebook page or whatever it is.
Do you need to supply a Google account to do only once?
Hmm?
Yeah. We have to,
You can only do it once if you supply your Google account, I thought. Or is that no longer the case?
That
Okay.
doesn't make sense.
Okay.
You could have a different form that has exactly the same amount of information, if
Okay.
that's a problem.
I'm just saying the mechanics of the Google form. If you check the option only submit once, it's going to ask you for your Google account.
Oh,
Yeah,
And then the person, they can only use that email address
correct.
one time.
It tracks
right.
it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like Jonathan and you have 36 email addresses, you could potentially sway.
but that doesn't make sense. You mean, so each Google account holder can send one survey in their lifetime?
No,
No, no,
they
no.
check the
Only-
box.
yeah.
The life of that form.
If we check the
Survey.
box on the survey, then
Right.
anyone can only fill out the survey one time
And what they're
per,
saying is
per account.
that makes
Yeah.
it not anonymous. It can't be anonymous if we check the box.
Correct.
So just do it once.
So we have to risk someone spamming us over. I mean, we could have a field in there saying, please enter your email address in here if you want, or some. I don't know. That's
No.
crossing the line too, probably.
Right. I think
Yeah.
the preference would be towards letting people just answer anonymously. And then if we happen to get a couple people answering it more than once because they care so much about their priorities.
that's not.
Yeah. So there is a risk that we could get spammed. Yes. But they have control over bots doing things like that. It's more or less somebody sitting there on their click, 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 click. Right.
Well, to get around that, you could mount, say, 3 surveys, and as one winds down, do the other one. But that doesn't solve any problems. Now that I'm
Then you
saying it
gotta
out loud,
consolidate.
that's creating problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be a ton of spamming.
No,
I mean, I've done a lot of Google surveys, and I don't think we've gotten
Yeah.
spam.
Google has solved the problem of bots spamming us. It's the person sitting there all night long, click, 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 and
Honestly,
I don't
if
think
someone
that's
cares that much,
exactly.
like-
Yes, if they're
To
that
your
excited
point,
about
right.
their priorities
Exactly.
as a
Yeah.
cultural council, by all means, make more than one submission.
Exactly.
I'm less concerned about that than deterring people who are
Yeah.
like, I don't want to put in my
Or-
email.
We can always pay for $50 a Survey Monkey and go that route too, and they would.
That's true. Now,
You.
if we thought we had money
That
for
was a joke.
2025 fiscal year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What is the report that you have to put in for 2024 fiscal year, or
So I have to go in and I have to carry over 2024 that did not get spent. And then I do 2025 of what we spent to date and what I think we're going to expend. And then what's left over. And so I guess I have to go back and figure out, like, I don't have it in my notes right here handy, if we said we're going to spend anything administratively.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I feel like we might have also, so there might be some options there.
I have a note that says 5% for admin, 335.
So we
But
just decided to
That
do
was the max.
I
that
think
the state
that was the
allows.
max,
Yeah.
so that's not exactly what we
So I
decided.
probably have to go back and look and see, and I can get back to you guys on that.
Okay.
But-
And the award this year came in at 6,700 again, so it'll be the same amount.
Right.
Outstanding. It would be nice to see a little bit more, but
But if we had the money for it, would we prefer to do SurveyMonkey?
Is it better?
I think for what we're doing, I think
I think Google Forms is
works
fine. Yeah.
Does the Google form feed into a spreadsheet?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
So you can, when you first create it, it does not have the spreadsheet, and you click a button, it'll generate a spreadsheet behind the scenes, and then you can actually see them come in on the spreadsheet. And if you change the spreadsheet, it'll actually pop in new items down below your changes, so it keeps going. You won't disrupt anything.
Yeah.
It keeps
and
running.
Google Form will also show you like charts and stuff like that
Yeah.
within it, so you can get. Like if
wish
you
we
have
could
like
do
a
that with
multiple
spreadsheets
choice.
at work. Always people messing up
Yeah.
rows. Yeah, I think the Google survey will be fine.
I mean, we'll know right away if there's a problem.
Right. And I'll take a look and see if there's any protections that we can put in place for it. You know, if there's any settings for the form itself that, you know, and I'll bring it to the attention of the council, and you guys can decide whether or not you want to put
There-
anything in place.
There's a way to inject JavaScript into it, and customize it, but it's
Ah,
programming, it's not. So if you find a way to inject a I'm a human button at bottom of the form, that'd be cool. But it requires a program to do it. There is a paid version, but you know this is a free version of Google. So yeah, there are ways to do it. How adventurous do you want to be, right?
Yeah, we'll put a little date field on there that the person has to put in the year they were born, and we'll start at 0 and they have to scroll all the way to 2000 or whatever, and that'll prevent
Is that an
most-
Apple product?
That will ensure that
most people
no one saw
most
it,
people
right?
from doing it right.
I'm not biased towards Apple or against it. Sorry, I'm being.
All right, so yeah, that's it. Communications.
So, mark your calendar for November 1st as the milestone for voting as well. And I will come out with an email as to when that meeting will be, the first meeting.
Sweet.
I can quickly address the communications line.
Go for it.
I got permission to edit the hubbardstonmass.gov website,
The new one.
the new one.
Sweet.
And
Sweet.
I have not done any changes to it yet, but I was thinking of updating it with a picture that I took at the concert last week, Thursday. It's got the bandstand and a very dramatic cloud in the back. It's very cool.
That was a great cloud, wasn't it?
I kept staring at it. Why is it just sitting there? And apart from that, I have done nothing because once the grants have been awarded, that's about it. I did
Okay.
post on Facebook just some snapshots from the concert.
Yeah, I saw some pictures on the Google Drive as well.
Yep.
Correct. Okay.
Nice.
Excellent. All right.
Can I just bring up one thing? An email came in yesterday from Cheyenne saying that, Jonathan, your appointment expired on June 30th, and that mine's expiring on October
Mine
1st.
renewed. No, the dates are wrong. I'm working on that.
Okay. Do I need to do anything, or am I?
No, I've already.
Am I good? Okay.
I went in today and I adjusted everything.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have to go in and do
So
anything.
you're actually on year 2 or 3?
I'm starting
2, right?
2.
3.
3, because you said yes
I
on not
started-
last field day, but the field day before, correct?
I did
So you're in year 3.
2023.
So next year will be your deadline. I rolled over technically last year, but my date's wrong, and that's why she was chiming in on that.
Okay, so I don't need to worry about this email.
No.
Okay.
No,
All right,
they-
then we'll just get rid of that, so I don't have to think about it.
No, yours was 2026. Mine was 2025. I think
Mine's
yours is
26.
2025 as well, but you started last year, so it
Well,
wouldn't be 25.
It's listed on the
Oh.
page. You want me to simply say who has what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
go through that.
Jonathan, term expires May 26th, 2028. Me, term expires March 6th, 2026. Connie expires September 18th, 2026. Joe, your term expires October 2nd, 2026. And Zoe, you're on until February 5th, 2027.
So for the record, these are town terms, not cultural council terms.
Oh,
So you came in on a term, they stagger, like there's 2 1 year and then 3 every other year. So there's 2 in 1 year, and then there's each year after that there's one more term that expires. The way they like to stagger it. So you came in on a term that expires in 2026. Cultural Council, Massachusetts says you can't do more than 2 3-year terms. So technically, so the way it works, you get reappointed. So Melody will reach out to you with an email saying, hey, will you want to renew your term? You'll say yes. She'll submit to the
Will I?
select board. I hope you do. I got one more after this. So she'll then submit your form to the select board. One of the select meetings will approve it. It's a very simple process. They did mine this year. Very little conversation
So
on
we
it.
don't have to do papers, and it's not.
She will
elected-
reach out to you.
It's not an elected position like we just do.
No, it's appointed. So when the official town term ends, she'll reach out to you with an appointment form, or in my case, it was just, hey, just send me an email saying I want to renew my term. Then she'll submit that into the select board meeting notes, and that's it.
Okay.
It's simple. So yes, mine is 2028 now because technically I finish up in May in 2028. Mine started in 2022. Digging around through 2 different systems in a paper book with Melody, we finally found some information on that. So yeah.
Cool.
All right. Any other topics of discussion? Thank you for bringing that up.
I don't think so.
All right.
Just-
it's nice to be back.
Oh, one more order of business. Our next meeting date. We need to put that on the calendar. Since everybody's here. Because when you guys go home, it'll be very hard to nail that down. We'll need one before the financial report on October 9th. How much time would you like, Connie, between the financial report deadline and our meeting?
Just 3 or 4 days.
So we'll just say September.
Because it's due, what, October 9th? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be out of town from September 14th through the 20th.
Okay. We can go into early October if we need to.
Yeah. Maybe we could do
It's
like
gonna have to
October-
be that because I'm the last 2 weeks of September. I'm out as well.
So October, see, the 9th it's due.
Do you want to do like the 6th or 7th?
I could do the 7th. Mondays are hard for me.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
should be fine.
Cool. October 7th.
Dates are always the hardest.
Still on at 7 o'clock and still here?
I don't know about here. They're working on the mean room over at 48 Gardner Road. I don't know when it's going to be finished. We'll either be here, across the way if they're not finished, or over on 48. I don't know yet. And Connie and me may have some more insight on that, but I don't. It's a moving target for them.
It's in my calendar. Blocked out 7 to 9 just in case.
Okay. October 7th, 7 p.m. Cool. Anything else? Okay, and I will call this meeting adjourned.